We're the civilians. They're the military government. That's the essence of the definition of martial law. And so we'll be opening the phones up for everybody. But I did hours of research yesterday and hours this morning, and I want to give you a little presentation here on what martial law is, how it operates, and how we're being incrementally brought into it. But then the bigger question, why? What does the system plan to do once the sun is set, once the doors are shut, once we're tied down? See, criminals always, when they come into a bank and get your hands up. Anybody moves, I'm going to blow your head off. They want to scare you. That's what the government does. They're using less lethal weapons. That's the real name for them. And then upping the power of the taser, upping the power of the microwave, upping the power of the sound cannon until it starts killing people. Rubber bullets every few months start killing people in America. And then it's more power rubber bullets. And then not just 1 out of 50 times, but 1 out of 10 you die. Then 1 out of 3 you die. Till everybody's just trained that you die when you protest. You get arrested when you videotape police. You disappear. You lose your radio license when you criticize the government. You get your website shut down. You get your credit card turned off. You get your PayPal turned off. You better do what you're told. And so everybody does what they're told, and the sun fully sets. And then what do they plan once that happens? This particular elite doesn't just want to rob stuff. If you have a tyranny like that, it's bad. The economy breaks down because nobody wants to produce anymore because somebody's just going to steal it from you. You kind of fall apart into a third world type scenario. We're not going to be like Venezuela or Nigeria. We're not going to be that lucky. We're a 21st century system. Bigger and better. The center of the New World Order eugenics empire. We're going to be killed. We're going to be tortured. We're going to be secretly arrested. Because that's the new economy. That's the new scholarships. That's the new way. You think the U.S. leading the world in prisons? That's just the start. And there's going to be forced inoculations, and all homeschooling is going to be banned, and everyone's going to have their local rural affairs minder in your town. This has all been announced. That's going to come on your property and boss you around and give you fines and fees. And if you get smart with them, a SWAT team's going to pull up in an armored vehicle with a bunch of killers who served 5 or 6 tours in combat zones, and they're going to kill you and your family. And they want you to get into a fight with them. That's what they're planning. And then there's going to be a civil war. And the bankers are going to sit back in Europe and they're going to laugh at it. That's what they plan on happening. I don't know. Could Americans wake up and say no? Hey, we've had enough of world government, enough of global corporate fascist rule, enough of all this tyranny, enough of it? I don't know. That's a question, but the people steering us have a destination on record that is absolute despotism. Absolute deception. Remember Fast and Furious, shipping guns into Mexico to blame the Second Amendment. All caught, thousands dead, nobody gets in trouble. Billboards up across the country for 20 years that say, report illegal guns. And it's an image of a shotgun or a revolver. And then when the carpet cleaner is in your house and sees a gun case, they call the cops on you. And the cops go ahead and come and go ahead and arrest you, even though there's no law. That happens all over the United States. I see it in the newspaper every week. I see it in the news where a realtor comes to your house and sees reloading equipment and a can of black powder. You're going to jail. It's on the news. Mr. Jones, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Smith was arrested for an arsenal. You go look at the state law. What is an arsenal? There's no such thing. And they've got juries so kept and so dumb, A lot of times you go to jail. You're like, but there's not even a law. That's right. There's no law they can take your kids for not taking vaccines, but they do. See, we're already under martial law, and I haven't even gotten to this presentation yet, and then I'm going to give the number out. But I'm begging you to realize we're dealing with pure deception and manipulation. And I'm begging the military and the police and others to not be cowardly. Everyone I know now goes, you're right, it's tyranny, it's all coming true. Oh, great. It doesn't make me happy. I don't want to be right. Do you realize how dangerous it is to be Alex Jones and to be right and to have all this credibility? You think the system likes the fact that I've made a study of everything they do and then I can guess 10 steps ahead what they're going to do? You think they're happy about that? You think they're happy about the fact I have millions of listeners? They're trying to kick everybody else off the radio right now, and they're trying with us. The only chance we've got to beat these people is to stand up against them. Now, here is the Attorney General, when he was Deputy Attorney General, on C-SPAN, in 1995, we're going to go out to break with this, saying we need to brainwash the public. And he goes on that he's met with all the executives of the media. And he's asking them to really push anti-gun messages. That's why it's in all the sitcoms, the dramas, the cop shows. It's brainwashing. And here he is saying it. Brainwashing. Go ahead.
So that we can get these ads, so we can use these spots, and not to give us 1, 2 o'clock in the morning ads when nobody's watching, but at the time when people, particularly young people, are watching television, so that when they're watching, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Martin or whatever else they watch, and yeah, I watch those things once in a while, so that they'll see these ads and they'll be grabbed by these ads. I've also asked people who have influence over youngsters, entertainers, athletes, to be involved in this program as well. But not only them, community leaders, Jesse Jackson, Mayor Barry, people who have credibility with young people should be on the television, on the radio, as much as we possibly can, and telling these youngsters that it's wrong to carry a gun, and that if you have information about people who are carrying guns, you've got to share that with Chief Thomas and with his people as well. I've also asked the school board to make a part of every day some kind of anti-violence, anti-gun message. Every day, every school, at every level. One thing that I think is clear with...
Hello, I'm Alex Jones. Myself, my family, the Infowars.com team want to relay to you and your families that we are intensifying our efforts against the globalist on every front. Infowars.com is leading the fight against the technocrats. But we can't do that without your help. By getting the films, bumper stickers, and t-shirts at Infowars.com, you will wake up people in your area and support our operation as we move to the next level. We need your help to spread the word like never before. They wish to hide themselves during this tectonic battle between the forces of freedom and darkness. You are the response to the globalist technocrats and their program of global eugenics, dehumanization, and ultimate extermination. The war is here. It's an info war. The spirit of 1776 versus the mindset of 1984.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Attention, information in this 1-minute message could save your life. Don't wait for the next emergency to happen. Act now to be prepared. Now, more than ever, civilians and communities must communicate with family, friends, and neighbors in the event of civil unrest, natural disasters, or other emergencies. That's why there's civildispatch.com. Civildispatch.com is a universal system that can be used for a wide array of urgent notification alerts. Weather emergencies, civil unrest, emergency responders, Amber Alerts, school or business closings, any need-to-know situation. Civildispatch.com is an emergency dispatch communication system, allowing anyone to quickly and easily send and instantaneously track emergency email and text alert notifications. Civildispatch.com gives you the power of enterprise alerting without the enterprise cost. Don't find yourself unprepared. Learn more and become a member at civildispatch.com. That's civildispatch.com. Civilian Emergency Dispatch System. Peace through preparedness.
No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now. No matter how hard you try, you can't stop us now.
All right, we're going to play the rest of the clip where he says brainwashing. And earlier in the 3-minute snippet, he's talking about, I've met with the advertising executives, the TV people. We've got to get these messages out there. We've got to literally brainwash. And that's what all this is, this idea that because there's crime, you've got to turn your guns in. This is a guy quoted supporting the complete abolition of the individual ownership of guns. Now, you notice on the subject of the Second Amendment, we're turning the tide. Al Gore was here in town last week for South by Southwest and was quoted as saying, he's losing the war for the environment. No, the globalists are the ones actually hurting the environment while creating straw man arguments about carbon dioxide just because they want to tax all human activity. You see, they are beginning to lose. That's why they're taking the gloves off and going, well, we'll just take over via martial law. Now, here's Eric Holder, a guy whose memos have been declassified, talking about covering up what really happened in Oklahoma City. And I've talked to the eyewitnesses who saw the feds in there planting the bombs. But notice he's talking to the Justice Department people like a little kid. Oh, I like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's like Obama, he's out on St. Patty's Day with a beer at the pub. He's a nice guy, a nice tyrant. And again, these tyrants come and go, but the bureaucracy and the criminal interest, their power expands. And the NRA is on record saying they've got sources in the Justice Department, and Obama's told Sarah Brady they're going to get the guns by stealth, that in the second term, he is planning to use executive order to restrict the Second Amendment. And guess what? The ATF already did that last year. We're in 5 southwestern states told him, you're going to now implement new gun regulations outside of law. Remember that? And had the nerve to blame it on something that they'd themselves caused, the shipping the guns into Mexico. Now, here's Paul Watson's article, Obama Executive Order Paves Way for Nationalization of the Economy. And Paul goes through it all. It's a Paul Watson, Alex Jones article. We're going to read this. I'm going to go over what martial law is when we get into the next hour. Then I'm going to open the phones up for police and military to specifically call in. Let's go ahead and go back to the Attorney General with his brainwashing quote. Here it is.
I've also asked the school board to make a part of every day some kind of anti-violence, anti-gun message. Every day, every school, at every level. One thing that I think is clear with young people and with adults as well is that we just have to be repetitive about this. It's not enough to simply have a catchy ad on a Monday and then only do it every Monday. We need to do this every day of the week and just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way. We also want to have a hotline that we will set up and have the number of that hotline that would just go out there, and that would be something that people would have emblazoned in their minds so that when they see a gun or become familiar about the facts of a gun crime, they would call that hotline and pass that information.
All right, thank you.